Good morning, students. In the last class, we have discussed about the selection definition, and it is of three types: mass selection, pure line selection, and the clonal selection. And about the mass selection, we have discussed with the examples also. So, definition you have to study and how it is done, and what are the examples. Groundnut varieties, two groundnut varieties, TMB2 and AK10. Now, second type it is called the pure line selection. Pure line selection is the progeny of a single individual obtained by self-breeding. Self-breeding will be taking place within if the plant is having the flowers and the flowers are bisexual. That means both male and female reproductive organs are present in that flower. So, the pure line is nothing but a single plant according to the morphology of the plant. The seeds will be collected from these plants. So, pure line selection is the progeny of a single individual. Suppose in a field 100 plants are there, and out of these 100 plants, the 10 plants are showing the very good growth and the products also, yield also we are getting. So, seeds to be collected from these 10 plants, not from all 100 plants. And in 10 plants individually the seeds to be collected, and it will be again grown for the next generation. And which plant is showing the more and more growth continuously generation after generation, that seed to be distributed to the farmers for further grown to get the product. So, that is the pure line selection. That's why a single individual obtained by self-breeding. This is also called individual pure selection. In pure line selection, what I told, suppose 100 plants are there in a field, 10 plants are showing the good growth and yield. These seeds are selected from those plants only. In pure line selection, large number of plants are selected from self-pollinated crops and harvested individually. Seeds to be collected and harvested individually. Now, individual plant progeny, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 plants are there. Seeds to be collected and to be kept in container. Now, plant number 1, seeds to be sown in the seeds to be spread in the ground to get the plants. If these plants, number 1 plants are showing the good growth and the yield also we are getting, then that particular plant to be grown in a large scale to get more and more products. Individual plant progenies from them are evaluated separately. The best one is released as a pure line variety. Progeny is similar both genotypically and phenotypically. That is the pure line selection. Third type it is called the clonal selection. A group of plants produced from a single plant through vegetative or asexual reproduction. Vegetative or asexual reproduction, if the plants are producing, new young ones are producing from any part of the plant body except from seed, that type of reproduction is called the vegetative reproduction or asexual. And the whatever progeny will be produced, they are called the clones. Now, what type of plants to be produced by this clonal selection? Then the plants, those who are not producing seeds. I will give an example. Suppose sugarcane. Sugarcane, from the stem only we are getting the new plants. Stem to be cut each and every node and to be planted to get the new plants. So, whatever sugarcane plants we are getting the node and producing the new plants, these new plants are considered as the clones, and these clones are exactly similar both morphologically and phenotypically, morphologically and genotypically similar to that of the parent plant. All the plants of a clone, that one I told, similar both in genotype and phenotype, genetic structure, phenotype and morphologically, looks also similar. Selection of desirable clones from the mixed population of vegetatively propagated plant is called the clonal selection. So, what do you mean by clonal selection? Then selection of desirable clones, desirable we expected, which one is good, from the mixed population of vegetatively propagated crop is called the clonal selection. So, there are 3 types of selection, and with examples also I told. Now, next part we are going to polyploid polyploid breeding, not polyploidy breeding. We know the sexually reproducing organisms have two complete set of chromosomes in each and every cell in our body. All the body cells are called the somatic cells. Suppose from my hand the cells have been collected, and each and every cell will be showing the two complete set of chromosomes, and that will be designated by 2n. 2n, it is also called diploid. But the gametic cells, gametes that are produced by meiosis cell division, will be having the only one set of chromosomes, half of the set of the chromosome of the diploid cells. That means which is called the haploid, and it is designated by n. So one thing to be known, all the somatic cells or body cells are having the two complete set of chromosome which is called diploid, and it is designated by 2n. And gametic cells, gametes, that means in human being we are saying sperms, male gamete, eggs, the female gamete, they are having only n number of chromosome, only one set of chromosome. This is called haploid, and it is designated by n. An organism having more than two sets, diploid set of chromosome, is called the organism is called the polyploid organism, and the condition is called polyploidy. So when an organism having more than two sets of chromosome in the somatic cell, these organisms are called polyploid organisms, and the condition is called polyploidy. It can be induced artificially by physical agents or by chemical agents. Physical agents, example, heat or cold treatment or different types of radiation, X-ray, alpha ray, beta ray, gamma ray. We will be discussing next part, it is there. Or chemical agents. One example has been given, colchicine. So that is about the polyploid breeding. Now what are the achievements? Why should we go for increasing the chromosome number in the somatic cells? Because when the chromosome number will be increasing in the somatic cells or body cells, the organism also will be showing more and more vigor, will be getting more and more yield, product will be produced. So some achievements are also there in polyploid breeding. Some achievements of polyploid breeding are seedless watermelons. If the seeds are not there, edible part will be more, so they will be getting more and more product. That's why seedless watermelons, it is 3 n number of chromosome. Banana, another example. Number 2, TV29, triploid variety tea with larger shoots and drought tolerance. Number 3, triticale, it is 6n instead of 2n, 6n. It's a hybrid of wheat and rye. To make this plant fertile, polyploid is induced. It is having higher dietary, the food content is more, dietary fiber and protein. And the last example, Raphanobrassica, is allotetraploid. We will be discussing later allotetraploid by colchicine treatment. So these are the achievements, right? So 2 marks question may be asked. Write any 2 examples of polyploid achievements of polyploid breeding. So out of 4, any 2 to be written. Now next part we are going to discuss about the mutation breeding. So first we will be discussing mutation. What do you mean by mutation? Mutation is defined as sudden heritable changes in the nucleotide sequence of DNA in an organism. We know that DNA is the genetic material of an organism, and DNA is made up of 2 types of nucleotides, purines and pyrimidines. And purines and pyrimidines are arranged in particular sequence. If at any case the nucleotide sequence is changing, which will be involving the changing of the genotype and phenotype of the organism, which is called the mutation. If this changing of nucleotide sequence take place suddenly, this is that phenomenon or the event is called mutation. So mutation may be defined as the heritable change in the nucleotide sequence of DNA in an organism. It is a process by which genetic variations are created, which in turn, I told just now, brings about the changes of in the organism. The organism which undergoes mutation is called mutant. should be known what do you mean by mutation and mutant. Suppose after mutation I am showing some changed characteristic feature after mutation. So I will be the mutant. The organism which undergoes mutation is called mutant. Now the factors which induce mutation, certain things are responsible for this mutation, changes in nucleotide sequence. Those substances are called mutagens. The factors which induce mutation are known as mutagens, or they are also called the mutagenic agents. Mutagens are two types. Some of them are physical mutagens. Just now I told that physical agents and chemical agents. So similarly, mutagenic agents or mutagens are also physical mutagens and chemical mutagens. Physical mutagen, that will be discussed in the next session. Okay, thank you children.